Hello and welcome to another episode of Pottery Bites. Today I'll talk about how to use the slab roller. Just a few tips and tricks I think that go a very long way. So here is a slab I've just rolled. I use this MDF plates. They have nothing on top, no kind of layer, no lac, no foil, nothing, because they absorb some water, so that's great. And this is where I start. So if you have a fresh batch of clay, you can just cut it like that, as I have done, into some pieces that already correspond more or less to the slab shape. I would suggest not going too much at once, because huge slabs, I mean, if you don't need it, but there's always more risk. All right, first thing I do is I just take my fist and I just do a little bit of the work. It got a little bigger, so why I do this in the first place is so I don't have to roll 100 times, diminishing the thickness. So I go to about like 1 centimeter, maybe a little less, because then I can move to the slab maker. So here I am on my slab roller. I've got 2 sheets of canvas. I labeled them with different colors of clay. I'm using plain clay, so I'm just using the unlabeled sheet. And I place it down, I cover it with another sheet of canvas, and then with the main canvas from the slab roller. Different slab rollers look differently, but always you have one kind of a thing to turn to determine the thickness. Here I will start with 1, and then I'll just roll over. You always go backwards as well, and I'd suggest you don't make a pause in the middle of the slab. You always go the whole way and the whole way back. And every single time, don't be lazy and just decrease. Every single time I suggest you take the canvas off, check your slab. Sometimes you've got some hair or something inside. And then you change the direction and you make sure the canvas is nice and stretched. Cover it back. Make sure it has no faults. Cover it up, and of course crucial that if you have 2 of these, that you roll both of them, otherwise your slab will be thinner and thicker. There we go, almost there. I'll turn it one more time and do it just a little bit thinner. So I'm personally using these slabs for making ceramic tiles. I've never done tiles before, so I'm not really sure what thickness I really want to go for. I assume it shouldn't be too thin, or it will twist and bend, but you know, you just get more surface out of a little bit thinner slab, so it's an experiment. Right now I am at 5 millimeters, and I will go down to 4 millimeters. I don't think you get anything workable under 3 millimeters, so if you can stay in the realm between 3 and 10, that's great. 3 millimeters for very thin, maybe plates, 5 even better if you want to use them a lot, and 10 for very sturdy, large things. So another little trick, when you have your slab, the bigger it is, the harder to remove. I get an MDF platte, a piece of wood, that's bigger than my slab. I place it on and then I put my hand under the canvas so I can flip it like that. When I've done that, it's much easier than kind of holding the slab with two hands. It's thin, it might rip. So here I can just get it off. And that's how I safely, without any tension, transferred it onto the wooden board. So today I'm filming in Studio Rocca Creative Space, so the angles are kind of odd, and yeah, my phone just sits against a water bucket. What you want to do with your slab, back to the topic, is you have this very little structure, you have some dimples. What I really like is getting the edge nice. If you're going to use it, you just kind of drive your finger very slowly and press on it, which makes your edge a little nicer. And if you want to turn it to do this from the other side, never ever hold it with one hand. Never stress. Try to be very gentle, have a lot of surface, and slowly let it down on the other side. There we go. Now I can do the other side as well. And then I use the rib. So the rib you use because you want to get rid of the texture. You don't want, for example, the whole texture of the canvas, which is quite pretty, but if you're doing something like, I mean, tiles is not so, you know, like I'm counting that the glaze will cover any imperfections. But if you're doing like a plate or something that you just want maybe even to leave raw, it's really worth it taking the time. Now also with this you can mess up. You can like go too fast and then kind of fold your slab. So around the edges be very careful. Short movements, in the middle you can be a little faster, but just try to be mindful of the speed. I have left the slabs drying. The room has not a lot of air circulation going on, so that's very important detail when you're trying to estimate how long to let your slabs dry. They are leather hard at the moment. If I am building with building blocks, you can tell just by how they move. They're a little firm, which is what I want because, as said, I am making tiles, and you see, like, if I support a tile in the middle, it does not bend. That's perfect structure to keep these sharp edges I actually want. So when we have our slab, just to be sure, if you are doing anything where you need a curved wall, I would have done that earlier. I will not be bending these slabs anymore. I want them flat. And if I want building blocks to build a very geometrical structure, this is how I would do it. If I would do something bent, I would maybe just dry it for 10-15 minutes and dry them further when they are in the shape. But that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. And if you have other topics you'd like me to talk about, or you have comments or questions, hit below and subscribe for more. Ciao!